Letters obtained in the raid of Osama bin Laden compound on May 2011 revealed that Al-Qaida has been from the beginning a key player in the civil war between supporters of the late leader Muammar al-Gaddafi, who was not believed when he adopted such a thesis, and the armed opposition backed by NATO and Gulf states. The letters published by the US Ministry of Justice were used in the trial of the British Pakistani Abid Nasir, accused of plotting attacks in New York. One of them revealed that the British MI6 insisted members of the LIFG, Libyan Islamic Fighting Group, to contact their friends in Al-Qaeda and ask them if they would abandon targeting Britain in exchange for the latter's withdrawal from Afghanistan. Another leaked letter written by bin Laden shows that he rejected the offer, although he instructed his aides to remain in contact with the British intelligence to leave the door open for dialogue. Two correspondences were exchanged between Jamal Shtiwi and al-Misrati, known as Atiyya Abdul Rahman or Atiyatullah al-Libi, and Osama bin Laden. Jamal wrote to Osama on 9 April 2011, and Osama replied on 26 April 2011, 1 week before his murder and 4 months before the murder of his 5th deputy. In his letter, Atiyya, who nicknamed himself as Mahmoud, explicitly confirmed that Abdul Mun'im Mukhtar al-Madhouni, known as Abu Malik, and Urwa al-Libi, founder of the Omar al-Mukhtar battalion in Benghazi on February 2011, was in constant contact with his compatriot from Al-Qaeda few days before he left Iran to Libya to lead the armed rebellion against Gaddafi with Nazih al-Ruqay'i, known as Abu Anas al-Libi or Anas al-Subay'i, as nicknamed in the letter. Atiyya wrote, Brother Urwa, one of the prominent brothers in the Libyan Islamic Fighting Group, stayed in Iran and did not come to us. But more than a month ago, he traveled to Libya and contacted some of our brothers there. We still hold contact with him through the internet. We are now waiting for his messages. He is one of the most important brothers in the field, and we expect him to play a major role in Libya. Atiyya Abdul Rahman confirmed that he assigned Abdul Mun'im al-Madhouni, who is apparently the older brother of Omar al-Madhouni, a former commander in Ansar al-Sharia, to negotiate a peace agreement with the United Kingdom on behalf of Al-Qaeda. Literally quoted, Atiyya wrote, Brother Urwa sent me an email when he was in Iran 2 months ago, shortly before going to Libya, and said that some Libyan brothers who live in Britain spoke to him about the following. The British intelligence contacted them and asked them to try to contact those who they knew in Al-Qaeda to tell them that Britain is ready to leave Afghanistan if we explicitly agree not to target British interests. The brothers were asked to get a response from us. I told Brother Urwa that we can think about this offer and that I will convey the idea to the commandment. I don't know what the Libyan brothers did with the British. Perhaps Urwa will come back to me, although he is now very busy fighting in Libya. Atiyya and Urwa knew each other from a long time. They were both in Algeria in the 90s during the civil war there. Atiyya was the messenger of Osama bin Laden to the GIA, an Algerian armed group, and al-Madhouni went to marry an Algerian extremist woman, then remained there as the advisor of the Algerian armed group.
مش يتزوج ما مشاش بالمجاهدين. لا مشى فترة قبل الزواج لا مشى تزوج بعدين بعد المرحلة هذه 7 سنين مشى العاصمة بس تزوج وطلع تزوج زائرين هناك كان عنده اتصالات وعلاقات تزوج وجاء.
In his last letter to bin Laden, Atiyya Abdul Rahman spoke about the Libyan fighting group as an organic part of Al-Qaeda entity. He said, for Libya in particular, the last thing we received from our brothers was that they started managing their affairs. They have now a major role in the fight. As for Osama bin Laden, he wrote the following about the British proposal. About what you mentioned on British intelligence offer to withdraw from Afghanistan if Al-Qaeda votes not to target their interests, This shows their embroilment and that they are now looking for an exit. We shall not give them this opportunity nor close dialogue doors with them. Born in 1971 in Sabrata, northwest of Libya, Abdulmun'im Mukhtar al-Madhouni, or Urwa al-Libi, left Libya in 1990 to Afghanistan. He fought alongside Jalaluddin Haqqani, who allegedly introduced suicide bombing in the Afghanistan-Pakistan region. He then joined the LIFG before becoming a member of its commandment and then one of its three main leaders. In 1993, he returned to Libya to kill Muammar al-Gaddafi. One of his 5 attempts, the Grenade operation, was funded by the British intelligence, according to the former MI5 officer David Shayler. He fled again at the end of the 90s to Afghanistan, left Afghanistan again after September 11, but was caught by the Iranian intelligence and remained in the prison to the end of 2010. He had regular contacts with number 5 in Qaida, Atiyah Abdurrahman, and then returned to Libya at the very beginning of the revolution and founded one of the strongest armed opposition battalions, Omar al-Mukhtar Battalion, which began in Benghazi and Derna and then moved to Jdabia, the capital of oil in the country. His group quickly grew up due to its large financial means obtained from the smuggling of arms and oil. Omar al-Mukhtar Battalion was heavily armed with more than 200 tanks, for example. With his policy of intimidation and bribing, he managed to recruit a large number of the local youth. Al-Madhouni was killed on the 15th of April 2011 between Jdabia and Briga when he was attempting to take control of the latter. Gaddafi's government announcement that he was a member of Al-Qaeda was never believed by the Western media. Al Jazeera and Al Arabiya channels described him as one of the heroes of the Libyan revolution. When he died, Al-Madhouni left one of the most effective militias, which was later called by his young son's name, Sariyatu Malik. Sariyatu Malik, the Special Force section of Omar al-Mukhtar Battalion. It is now commanded by Ziad Bal'am and is operating as one of the battalions of the pro-Qatar wing of the Libyan army. On May 2014, Qatar's supported Libyan government asked Bal'am and its well-armed battalion to fight in Benghazi against the forces of General Haftar. While most of the fighters of this battalion never knew that they were commanded by an active member of Al-Qaeda, MI6 seems to have been aware of this fact when it asked the LIFG members to contact Al-Qaeda. Known to be close to the British intelligence, Nu'man bin Uthman, a former member of the LIFG, categorically denied in 2011 any link between Abdulmun'im al-Madhouni and Al-Qaeda. He also denied any presence of Al-Qaeda in Libya. Today, his position has significantly changed. Few days before he died, Abdulmun'im Mukhtar al-Madhouni was asked by Associated Press about his links with Al-Qaeda. He completely ignored his contacts with Atiyah Abdurrahman and denied any link with Bin Laden's organization. But a Lebanese journalist called Ali Hashim said that he asked him when he met him in Jdabia, "How come you fought NATO in Afghanistan and fight with it today in Libya?" Urwa laughed and said, "What's wrong with this? We take advantage of them to overthrow the tyrant. Don't make it complicated." Today, everyone knows who benefited from the other and is now trying to get rid of him. Mohammed Tamalt, Arab Context, London.
صغيرة نائمة تبع القاعدة.